Have you ever wondered why some people face life's challenges with confidence, while others seem to struggle with self-doubt? Or why a teenager's search for identity feels so intense? The answers might lie in a powerful map of the human life cycle. Welcome to the Education Studio, your home for books, brains, and better teaching. Today, we're exploring Erik Erikson's 8 Stages of Psychosocial Development, a theory that explains how our personalities develop through every chapter of our lives, from cradle to grave. Stage 1. Trust versus mistrust, which happens from birth to around 1 year of age. At this stage, babies are completely dependent on their caregivers for food, comfort, and love. When caregivers are responsive, consistent, and affectionate, the baby learns to trust, believing that the world is safe and that their needs will be met. However, if caregivers are neglectful or inconsistent, the baby may develop mistrust, feeling that the world is unpredictable and people can't be relied on. By the end of this stage, the baby develops a beautiful sense of hope, a quiet confidence that even in uncertain times, the world is a caring place and their needs will be met with love and security. Stage 2. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. It happens during early childhood, roughly from ages 1 to 3. At this stage, children start to discover a powerful word: I can. They want to do things on their own, like dressing, eating, or choosing a toy. When parents or caregivers encourage this independence with patience and support, the child develops a strong sense of autonomy or confidence in their abilities. But if children are criticized, over-controlled, or not allowed to explore, they may begin to feel shame and doubt, believing they're not capable of doing things themselves. By the end of this stage, children develop the virtue of will, the determination to try, make mistakes, and keep learning on their own. The third stage is initiative versus guilt, which occurs during the preschool years around ages 3 to 6. At this stage, children become more curious, energetic, and eager to take the lead in play and new activities. When caregivers encourage their ideas, support their creativity, and allow them to make small decisions, children develop a healthy sense of initiative, the confidence to explore and take action. But if they're criticized, discouraged, or made to feel that their efforts are silly or wrong, they may start feeling guilt, believing it's bad to express themselves or take initiative. By the end of this stage, children develop the virtue of purpose, the courage to dream, take action, and turn their imagination into reality. Fourth stage is called industry versus inferiority, which takes place during the school-age years, roughly from 6 to 12. At this stage, children begin to focus on learning, building skills, and achieving goals. When teachers and parents encourage their efforts, celebrate progress, and provide opportunities to succeed, children develop a strong sense of industry, the belief that I can make things happen. However, if their efforts are ignored, criticized, or constantly compared to others, they may start to feel inferior, doubting their abilities and losing confidence in their work. By the end of this stage, children develop the virtue of competence, the satisfaction that comes from hard work, learning, and accomplishing something meaningful. The fifth stage is identity versus role confusion, which takes place during the teen years, roughly from 12 to 18. This is the time when young people start asking big questions like, who am I? And what do I want to be? They explore different roles, values, and beliefs to form their unique identity. When they are given support, freedom, and guidance, they begin to develop a strong sense of self and direction in life. But if they face rejection, confusion, or pressure to be someone they're not, they may experience role confusion, feeling lost or unsure about who they are. By the end of this stage, the virtue of fidelity emerges, the ability to stay true to oneself and remain loyal to one's values and identity. Sixth stage is called intimacy versus isolation, which occurs during young adulthood, roughly from ages 18 to 40. At this stage, people are ready to form deep, meaningful relationships built on trust, care, and emotional connection. When individuals have a clear sense of who they are, they can open up, share themselves honestly, and build lasting bonds with others. But if someone avoids closeness out of fear of rejection or losing independence, they may experience isolation, feeling alone and disconnected from others. By the end of this stage, the virtue of love emerges, the ability to form strong, genuine relationships based on mutual respect and emotional intimacy. The seventh stage is generativity versus stagnation, which occurs during middle adulthood roughly from ages 40 to 65. At this stage, people focus on contributing to the next generation through raising children, mentoring others, or making a difference in their communities. When adults feel their efforts are meaningful and impactful, they experience generatively a sense of productivity and purpose that their life truly matters. However, if they feel disconnected, unproductive, or self-centered, they may fall into stagnation, feeling stuck or that their life lacks meaning. By the end of this stage, the virtue of care develops the deep desire to nurture, guide, and contribute to the well-being of others. The eighth final stage is integrity versus despair, which occurs during late adulthood, usually from age 65 onward. At this stage, people look back on their lives, reflecting on what they've done, learned, and experienced. Those who feel they have lived with purpose, love, and contribution develop a sense of integrity, a peaceful acceptance of their life and the wisdom that comes with it. But if they are filled with regret, guilt, or missed opportunities, they may experience despair, feeling that life was wasted or too short. By the end of this stage, the virtue of wisdom shines, the quiet understanding that every joy and every mistake helped shape a meaningful life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Erik Erikson's 8 stages of development. We hope you enjoyed learning about how each stage shapes who we are. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And make sure to subscribe to the Education Studio for more videos that fuel your curiosity and help you grow as a learner and educator. See you in the next video.